everyone, welcome to the weekend class. We have just find out a few of the topics that are important for our exam. So the first and foremost important thing is CAA rules. It's been quite a while that we are talking about rules. What is CAA? Just have a quick recap. CAA is all about the neighboring countries where people are minority and they have been exploited or maybe their lives are not safe or threatened. Then they can make an application to Indian citizenship. Based on case to case, they will be like whether approved, given the citizenship, or maybe declined. Now there are issues that in this there is a Islamic community people cannot be applied from Pakistan or Bangladesh or maybe nearby countries because they are majority in those areas, and the rest of the people like a Hindu, Buddhist, Jain, all these people can make an application, and case to case basis they will be approved or maybe rejected. Now, who will be taking care of this citizenship rules or maybe all the citizenship law? This is a Ministry of Home Affairs, that is national government, but not the state government that will be taking care of it. That is Ministry of Home Affairs, who is responsible for all these measurements or maybe different things of citizenship. Now, here how you can make an application for this registration, or maybe let us just have a quick recap of what are the different methods that we can acquire citizenship of our country. The first method is by birth. Either of your parents must be Indian or other things, and then by descent, and finally the registration. Now this method is a registration method. By based on the registration, you can get the citizenship of India. Now here, how you will be applying for this? At a district committee head by the superintendent of post will be like verifying your application, and then it will be forwarded to high power committee. Now this high power committee will make a decision, and if the decision is a rejection, then you can even have an application like within 30 days. After that, you can even apply for review of this decision, and even then your application get rejected, then it will be like a final decision by the central government of India, and you cannot challenge that. And now there is a issue that are the concerns raised, like what will happen if the application of a candidate is been rejected by the sorry central government. But anyway, the important thing for us to remember here in the prelims examination, there may be possibility of asking whom will be making your application and who will be making a decision, whose authority will be finalization. Now, as per the so far information, central government is the final authority where even if our application is rejected, you cannot have any other option. But now there is a high court judge that is raising the concern about what will happen to these applicants who got rejected. The next thing is Bihu dance. Bihu dance is a dance form that is celebrated in the state of Assam when there is a new year. Now, why is this Bihu dance important? There are about 8 classical dances that we are having in our country, and there are some folk dances, some classical dances and some folk dances. And there may be possibility of asking at the time examinations, which of the following are classical dances, or maybe which of the following are non-classical dances. Like that, there will be asking. This Bihu dance is very much famous. There may be possibility of having some confusion about whether it is a classical dance or folk dance. So now, this Bihu dance is a folk dance, but not the classical dance. In which state Bihu dance is celebrated or practiced? It is in the state of Assam. When it will be practiced? It is practiced on the New Year of New Year celebrations. And now, what is the festival name? Bohag Bihu. Bohag Bihu is the festival. What is the festival? Bohag Bihu is the festival. In commemoration of this festival, you will be celebrating with this dance. That is, the dance is called as a Bihu dance. And this Bihu dance is a folk dance, but not the classical dance. The next topic is very much important. Nowadays, it is on the rise. That is none other than e-crimes, or maybe it is crimes related with the IT or information technology. They will be luring you on your websites or maybe apps, fraudulent apps that are coming in, or maybe they are taking away your information. That may be like a siphoning or phishing, or maybe different means of malware that is being injected into your device. Maybe whenever you are clicking or opening some browser or maybe some other file, then from then it will be starting like they will be either trapping you into a they'll be trapping you into a fraud, or maybe they will be threatening, or they will be luring you based on maybe you are having such a so and so offers, and you can get like a 1 lakh rupee or 10 lakh rupees if you just pay 1,000 rupees or 2,000 rupees. From then to maybe loan apps or maybe different apps, they will be like a fraud on the people, and they will keep looting the money from people accounts. Now, to do this, what they need employees who are having a high skills or maybe IT knowledge. Now, this is becoming organized crime. There are some companies in China, they are trying to recruit and deploy these people in a different country based on the job offers, and now these people will be forced to do a job that is getting the clients to fraud them. Now, this is a racket that has been busted, and 250 people who has trapped in this employment are being rescued. And now they are like tracking down on the frauds that are being happening around this area. So every one of us have to be very much cautious whenever there is a call about maybe loans, or maybe whenever there is a call about any custom goods that are being offered, or maybe different kind of things that are going on, maybe change of the PIN number of your ATM, or maybe like SIM swap, etc., etc. Many things are going on. So it is a humble request to everybody, do not get fall prey into this situation where they will be luring you based on your greed, and then finally you will be subjected to the fraud and all of the money will be gone. I just have happened to see one of the most heartbreaking incident, that one mother, they took loan of about 40 lakh rupees for the further studies of their child, and she is innocently kept sharing OTP when there was a person kept asking about OTP for doing something with their bank account. And finally, when the date came to pay the fees of that kid, then finally the mother has realized that there is nothing in the bank account. And when she had inquired about it, finally they got to know that because of the sharing of OTP, all your money is being authorized by yourself to withdraw. And that's the most dissecting situation, and this can happen with anybody. This is not the only one method that is being applied on the innocent people to fraud. It is rather negligence but not the innocence. It's been a while that IT, information technology, or e-scams are going on, and at least now most of us are very much educated. Even the educated people are getting fall prey into this IT scams. So every one of us have to be careful about it. The next thing is NCPCR. There was something about a web application or maybe a website. That name is called Ullu. It's been started showing adult content. Now, from Google and from NCPCR, the pressure has risen, and due to this, they had to down their servers. Now, in this, they may be like, oh, what is this you are teaching about something that is showing adult content? No, that is not my main intention. It is about NCPCR and its composition, and its when it started came into force, and what are the things that it will be taking care, and how the children will be protected. What are the different laws or articles that we are having to protect our children from these situations. Now, NCPCR is been drafted from Commission for Protection of Child Rights Act 2005. Based on this act, NCPCR is being constituted. Now, in this, there will be a chairman and 6 members will be there, and the tenure for this chairman will be 3 years or 65 years, and tenure for the rest of the members may be either 3 years or 60 years, whichever is the earlier will be the tenure for that. That tenure means nothing but how long they will be serving in this role. In this role, let us assume that if a person has appointed at the age of 60 as a chairman, then they will be like serving as the chairman for only 3 years, but not up to 65 years. If a person is appointed as a chairman of a NCPCR, then they will be at the age of 64. Then he will be like serving only up to 65 years, but not for the 3 years. Rest of the 2 years will not be considered. And then what are the different acts that we are having in this scenario where we can protect our children? First thing is POXO. POXO is all about in this POXO, gender equality. There is a gender equality. You are not having any gender parity. Either it is a boy child or girl child, they will be treated equally, and crime against them will be treated equally. And then juvenile justice. Care and Protection of Children Act 2015 is there, and Right to Free and Compulsory Education Act 2009 is these are the few acts that we are having in our area where we can be protecting our children. Apart from this, you are there is a Child Labor Act we are having, that limiting the people who are not allowing to work in dangerous situations, or maybe domestic helper, etc., etc. These are some of the areas that we are restricting so that we can send them to school and get educated, and then finally they can realize their potential. Now, what are the articles we have to consider here is Article 14, that equality, Article 15, and then Article 19 and Article 21, Right to Life, Right to Education Act 21A, and Article 23. These are some of the articles that we are having in our constitution that are protecting our children, right? And these are we have acceded to one of the convention of United Nations, that is Convention on Rights of the Child, Rights of the Child. That is in 1992, we are party to this, so that we are supposed to accord all these or value all these laws. It is not necessary that we have to value only because of this. It is been there right from the very beginning of our country. That is Article 23 included in our Constitution of India right from the very beginning. So right from very beginning, we are trying to protect our children. But as time passes, there will be a few erroneous incidents will be happening, and this is all about trial and error method. We keep learning about things every now and then, and make our laws more stronger and stronger. And there is another thing is a global biodiversity framework. What is that? Global Biodiversity Framework, GBF. Now, this topic needs a long class. So now I will be taking only about a brief introduction of this, what it is and how it is. And then in a separate class, I will be taking about the Global Biodiversity Framework. Recently in 2015, the COP 15 to the United Nations Biological Diversity, Kunming and Montreal Global Diversity Framework was adopted. When this adopted? In 2015. Sorry, in 15th Conference of Parties. And which parties? 15th Conference. And then GBF include 4 goals and 23 targets, which is to be achieved by 2030. And United Nations Biodiversity Conference concluded in Montreal, Canada. That is the reason why we call this as a Kunming Montreal Global Biodiversity Framework. This is adopted in COP 15, took place in Kunming. Now, Asia should prevent world from becoming an arena for geopolitical fighting. Now, this looks like, who says this? China. This look like a perpetrator is preaching. What is that? Perpetrator preaching. Now, he is one of the most erroneous player in Asia. And in this multipolar world, now this player is trying to prove their hegemony so that again they are trying to convert into a bipolar world. What is this multipolar and bipolar world? Bipolar is just two players. They are trying to prove their hegemony and lead the world. And multipolar means there are multiple players. If you see before 1991, there were only two players. One is either Russia or another bloc, that is either USA. These were the two players they were having their a prowess. And after that, there are different countries started emerging in the world. And now we are almost assuming that multipolar world only. But again, due to the Russia's decline, China is trying to assume that place and it is trying to go over USA, or maybe it is trying to prove that we are the world leaders, and that is the reason why it is instigating all the neighbors or encroaching upon all the neighbors. If you see with the how it is behaving with India, it is behaving like encircling India by taking the Colombian port and Godar port and even like Bangladesh port and some radio station in Nepal. But with this, it is encircling India completely, and it is what is happening with the Taiwan. It is also like threatening Taiwan to acquire completely. And then there is something called UNCLOS, United Nations Convention Law of Sea, and this says that from the border you will be having certain amount of ocean or the sea rights. But now this has constructed some of the artificial islands to claim entire sea. Now that will be taken in another class, but not now. So like that, it is the culprit in Asia. Because of this only, there are a huge number of issues going on. And now this perpetrator is preaching that we should not be becoming the arena for geopolitical fights. Okay, thank you very much and have a nice day.